NFC South Roundtable, how are we feeling today? It is your usual suspects back at it again with another preview as we are looking to now preview week 6 of the 2024 NFL season. And let me tell you, we are right around the bend from the halfway mark already for the season. And this season is shaping out to be definitely one interesting one. Lots of shakeups, but this week, we're talking about basically a week of just in-division games here. I mean, we got the Saints, we got the Buccaneers, we got the Panthers, we got the Falcons. As always, you guys know how this goes. Each of your creators is going to preview their games, and then the other guys are going to give their thoughts on that game also. But before we do that, I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsors of this video and this channel all football season long. Those are our buddies over at BetUS. We could not possibly be here without them, so make sure you guys show some love and show some support. Right now, when you guys sign up on their website or use their mobile app available on iOS and Android, it takes less than 60 seconds to sign up, and you use the promo code YouTube150, YouTube150, like you see right now on the screen. You guys will be locked in for a limited time exclusive offer of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, followed by a 125% sign-up bonus on your next 2 deposits, all the way up to $2,000. That is a deal on your first 3 deposits. BetUS giving you the opportunity to have a little bit of extra fun this upcoming football season in a way that no other sportsbook is allowing you to have. BetUS also has the fastest payouts in the industry. They can give you a 200% crypto deposit bonus. They have fast and easy deposit and withdrawal process, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days a year, live wagering on all major games, best betting variety in the business. You guys can even get a 10% back on your net losses 2 times a year, and BetUS can give you your very own personalized account manager, changing the game for sportsbooks the way that nobody else is, finding ways and creative ways to give you opportunities to have some extra fun. You can't just bet on NFL. You can also bet on college football. You can bet on basketball, baseball. You can even bet on politics, which is absolutely crazy. They have the best selections for you in the damn game. Remember, play smart, play responsible, never bet more than you can afford to lose. If somebody you know or love is dealing with an issue, or even yourself, please reach out and get the help that you need. In fact, if you go to BetUS's website, they have a page dedicated to getting you that proper help you need if you are dealing with an issue. But thank you to BetUS for powering this channel all football season long. Fellas, I want to just get right into this, though. And the game that I want to start with here is the Buccaneers and the Saints. James, let's start with you. Break this game down for me and give me your predictions.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, let's talk about where both teams are at right now. Okay, so the Bucs find themselves coming off of a pretty stinging divisional loss to the Atlanta Falcons, right? Whereas the Saints find themselves losing 3 games in a row, one of which was to the Falcons as well. In terms of the race for the division, winning the NFC South, both the Saints and the Bucs find themselves in a similar situation. They are both a game down to the Falcons right now, which makes this game against one another so much more important for either one of these teams' efforts of winning the NFC South, right? Look, the Saints right now have a mixed bag of what they are as a football team. You have the defensive side of things, which has been good for the Saints so far this year in terms of defense. They've been good. You've seen a lot of different guys stepping up offensively. You've had guys like Alvin Kamara do a lot this year. Rashid Shaheed has done a lot this year. Chris Olave has been present there as well. But the biggest question was quarterback. You know, Derek Carr, he started off pretty hot the first couple of weeks, cooled off massively the last 3 weeks, and now he's hurt. The Bucs are going to be going up against either Jake Haener or against Spencer Rattler. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic to this football game. I think it means we're going to see even more of Kamara, Shaheed, Olave, trying to give them something easy, get them out into open space for the Saints offensively. For the Bucs against the Saints defensively, look, Byron Leftwich has tried to crack the code of getting after Dennis Allen's defenses. Bruce Arians has tried it. Dave Canales tried it last year, but this Saints defense, you know, never really has a bad game against the Bucs, in my opinion, right? It's always a close game. Bucs offensively versus Saints defensively. Now Todd Bowles' head coach against the Saints is 3-1 so far in his tenure as the head coach. Will that continue? Will Liam Cohen be able to do something different to kind of crack the code on this Dennis Allen defense? We're going to have to wait and see. But for the Bucs defense, get healthier. Hopefully Winfield Jr. can be available for this game. Hopefully Kalijah Kancey can be available for this game, because you got to make these young quarterbacks uncomfortable. You got to take advantage of a Saints offensive line that is extremely banged up at this point. That's probably going to be missing Taysom Hill for this game as well, and missing their starting quarterback, be it Spencer Rattler, be it Jake Haener. You have to get after the quarterback, something that the Bucs have struggled to do this year. In some situations, it could be one of the biggest keys to stopping this Saints offense and giving them a much better chance to win this football game.
All right. Well, TJ, let's get on to you. What are your thoughts and predictions on this in-division game?
Well, I agree with what James was saying. This is a tough game for both teams, and they definitely need this game. I mean, you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, that was an emotional loss to the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday night. I mean, if you talk to any Buccaneers player, they'll probably tell you we were the better team, on the field that night. And, all the emotion that's going on with Tampa, the hurricane and everything like that, and some of the things that are going on in order to get them prepared, I think they're going to bottle all that up, and they're going to come into the Superdome inspired. But you also have a New Orleans Saints team that have licking their wounds for the past 3 weeks. I mean, losing 3 straight games, starting off on such a high note, and these last 3 weeks have been a disaster. And then you add the fact that you've had so many different injuries to key players. I mean, looking at the injury report, it looks like a CVS receipt. I mean, of different players that are just injured. And now you have your starting quarterback, Derek Carr, who's injured. He's going to be out multiple weeks, and it's going to be up to Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler to try to provide a spark for this offense. If we're talking about Kalijah Kancey, we're talking about Villa. It's going to be a tough night for the offensive line of the New Orleans Saints. I mean, for the last couple of weeks, if you got some talented interior linemen, I mean, they're going to make a name for themselves, just like Gambit says. They're going to make a name for themselves. Ooh, make a name for myself every time they go out there, because, I mean, you're playing with backup, left guard, right guard, and even a center. It's going to be a tough outing for the New Orleans Saints. But, the best thing about this is that you have 2 young quarterbacks. They're going to try to do everything that they can. They're going to try to make plays. And one thing I do like, I feel like it kind of helps a struggling offensive line, is when you got a quarterback that can move out of the pocket. That can probably, escape the pocket and get some extra yards to make the next down manageable, second and manageable, third and manageable. So I think that might help them a little bit. As far as Derek Carr, I know that, a lot of people look at Derek Carr, he's a talented quarterback. He is to a certain extent, but I mean, he hasn't been setting the world on fire. If these guys go out here, rather Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler, they complete maybe 16 or 17 passes, they would have equaled what Derek Carr has done in a successful game for the New Orleans Saints. So it's gonna be up to the running game. I think that Kendre Miller, the second-year player out of TCU, I think he's going to be back in this game. I think that he'll provide a little bit more than what Jamal Williams has as a change of pace. I'm not sure about Taysom Hill dealing with that rib injury. I don't expect for him to play in this game. But they're going to have to come up with creative ways to get their playmakers involved, man. And hopefully you'll probably see some of these quarterbacks take a little bit of a risk that Derek Carr probably wouldn't take, because, if he sees that there's a 50-50 ball in the air, he's not going to throw it. He's going to check it down for a 1-yard gain to Alvin Kamara. So hopefully we'll see some aggressiveness from this offense, but that's what it's going to have to take in order for the for the New Orleans Saints to win. But I think it's going to be a tall ask going up against the 3-time NFC South champions.
Just make sure people know what happened here today. Am I right, TJ?
Exactly.
That's what the Saints are looking for. That's the vibes they're looking for. That's the mentality. But
exactly.
Clay, let's go on down to you. What do you think about this matchup for your in-division opponents?
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs, you think about it, they just blew a golden chance to be 4-1, and now they're staring down at the barrel of a must-win against Saints team. And then you lose this one, and their hopes for the NFC South could go poof. The Falcons are, they're getting, it seems like they're catching fire at the right time. They're racking up wins, and they're with a little bit of luck there as well, which, you need in the NFL. But the Bucs have to be better. It's time for them to wake the hell up. They find themselves chasing a division title from winning it, like TJ said, 3 years in a row. But they do get stars back. I think they're getting Kalijah Cansey and Antoine Winfield possibly returning. The Bucs need them firing on all cylinders. They can't afford to half-ass it this time. As on the Saints side, like I said in the live stream this week, this Dennis Allen has to start showing that he's a better coach, and that that the Clint Kubiak's got to show that he belongs as the OC there, Derek Carr. But again, we don't know. Derek Carr doesn't seem like he's going to be playing. It sounds like it's going to be Spencer Rattler, and you're bringing in a rookie quarterback to a beat up Saints team right now. So you got to hope that he can somehow spark something there, so this season doesn't go down the drain fast. So, I mean, right now, to me, I got to give the Bucs the edge here because they need it more, and they've got a better team right now.
All right, and Smitty, what do you think about this game?
Keep it short and sweet. I think Tampa, they're a little bit desperate. Like Clay said, loss like that, man, you got to stand up, because next time they play the Falcons, they want to be as close in division where they can be in striking distance. But New Orleans, on the other hand, will be at home, so that could be an advantage. But if Tampa gets either one of their top defenders back, I think this game is going to go downhill real fast because Alvin Kamara hasn't looked like Alvin Kamara the last 3 weeks. The passing game hasn't looked like the passing game the first 2 games of the year. So they're going to have to piece together an offense and put up points. And I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. And y'all know how I feel. And I'm a Falcon fan, but Mike Evans is one of my favorite players in this league right now. It has been for a while. I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. Like we said in the other show, Adebo is going to probably hold him like he going to the prom with him next week. So I just think the Bucs are going to be too much. I'm picking the Bucs by at least 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, the Bucs by at least 2 touchdowns. All right, so it sounds like the favorite here is going to be the Bucs over the Saints, according to each creator here in the NFC South. But this is not the only in-division matchup that we have here in Week 6. This is also going to be a matchup between the Falcons and the Panthers. So without further ado, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this one. And Smitty, let's just start with you.
This is one of those trap games. This is the game that can sneak up and bite you real quick. Last week, we were not as balanced on offense as we should have been. We depended a lot on Kirk Cousins, and he came through with those 509 yards. Bijan Robinson has to get it going this game. He did have a 28-yard run last week, but this game, they're going to have to jump out fast. He's going to have to be a key part of that. I think Tyler Algier also has to get it going. He only had 12 yards last week. So the run game has to get it going as a whole to set up Kirk Cousins. They have to be more balanced against the Carolina Panthers. And even though Carolina is down in the dumps, like I said, this is one game that can bite you. We know the Falcons have the pieces on defense. This week, against an offensive line that is struggling, you got to get the pass rush going. If you can get the pass rush going early on this game, I think you make them one-dimensional. You have to slow down Chuba Hubbard. Let's keep it real. He's one of the best young running backs in this league. 393 yards, 5.8 yards a carry, even had 17 receptions. So he's a dual threat back. If they can get him going, he's going to be trouble. But if you can slow him down, and the interior of their defensive line, as I said, has to get going. If they can control him, I think they make the Panthers one-dimensional, and I think this game is over early. So strong offense, balanced offense, get the pass rush going, and we know Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons are just who they are. So in this game, man, I got to take my Dirty Birds. I'm going to say somewhere around 27-14 or somewhere like that, because I think they're going to jump out fast to an early lead and stay out front.
All right. Clay, talk to me. What do you think? Could the Panthers get back on track here, or is this another game where you're probably on the outside looking in?
I mean, 3 losses in 4 games. You got injuries galore. Dave Canales is probably, as a head coach right now, as a rookie head coach, who I do like and believe that he can be a head coach here in Carolina, as long as your owner doesn't temper with those expectations. Is probably wondering what the hell he signed up for when he came, up to this point. But the happy-go-lucky vibe in the offseason, that's gone like a fart in the wind. Coaching the Panthers is a surefire way to, suck the joy out of life. So, meanwhile, you got the Falcons, who are just stuttering in like they own the place. They're over 500. They actually look like contenders. Like I said, Kirk Cousins sets a franchise record. Again, like I said, Austin Corbett, your starting center, is out for the season. Taylor Moton's going to be out. This is the first time he's going to miss a game, and I think his 8 years of his contract. So there's a growing list of who the hell's even playing. It's a disaster waiting to happen. The Panthers are cornered like a rat. They need to show some fight. It's do or die time, to be honest. And honestly, who's got faith in this bunch? Because I don't. Even as a Panthers fan, I don't have faith in my team. It's hard for me to do that, right? With this current state, the pressure's off. Too bad. Too bad. It just means that they'll get to screw it up like with less scrutiny, right? The only thing that I see looking forward to this game is at least they go out in style when they're going to be rocking those sick black helmets that we have. But again, Carolina, if they want to win this game, yeah, you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball with Chuba Hubbard 20, 25 times and control that clock. You also got to get Andy Dalton some time to throw. And with this offensive line looking the way that it's looking, I'm not so sure it's going to be able to. But also your wide receivers are got to hold on to the ball and get open against an Atlanta secondary that looks pretty damn good right now. Defensively, yeah, you want to shut down the run game because you want to force Kirk Cousins to beat you with his arm. Because right now I would take my secondary over my defensive line and my linebacker room right now. But I believe that Smitty's right. I see it being a 27-13, 14 type of game.
All right, TJ, let's go down to you. What do you think about this Falcons and Panthers game?
The Falcons over the last couple of weeks, I mean, they've been in phone booth type games. And I don't know, like at the end of that game, when they won that in such an emotional fashion, I think that is the type of stuff that wakes a team up and makes them realize that, damn, we're a pretty good football team. And I think that this is going to be one of those games where it's not going to be close and they're going to flex their muscle, because that team won more than a football game last Thursday. Like they won the confidence, battle within themselves. Like, man, we can be something too. We actually are something. And I think that they're about to put that all together. I think that the Carolina Panthers are about to run into a buzzsaw. I think that this is going to be a game where everything starts to click and starts to gel. I think that you're going to see some players that were struggling once again, make a name for themselves in this game. So I think that, I think it's going to get ugly, man. I think that Carolina is going to try to do, everything they can to stay in it. But I think that this is going to be the game where ESPN is going to be talking about the Falcons like they've been talking about every other team when they start going on these winning streaks. I think they're going to dominate. I think they're going to score at least 37 points in this game.
TJ's been watching a little bit too much Deadpool and Wolverine, but you know what? I'm the same way. I think I watched the movie like 5 times already, man. Let me tell you. Movie of the year. But James, why don't you get us on into your opinions and wrap us up for this game?
First off, Deadpool versus Wolverine, great movie.
Oh, man. Awesome.
Best fantastic movie. Secondly, I'm happy Clay brought this up because I forgot to mention this in the live stream, but the Saints helmets with the jersey looked great. by the way. Just wanted to make a note of that from the Monday night game. But look, much like what everybody else is saying, I don't think this game's going to be close, unfortunately. Clay posted a meme on his channel, which go check that out, by the way, if you guys have not, where it's, "Oh no, we suck again." And that's facts, man. Look, I feel I feel bad for Carolina right now. They're hurt. Like their top players are hurt defensively. That's just not fun. Offensively, Andy Dalton does give you a better chance to win this football game, but it's just they're lacking a lot of talent right now. I do have the Falcons winning this football game. I don't think it's going to be a particularly close game. I have the Falcons winning by double-digit points. And it is what it is, man. Carolina's in a pit of despair right now. But, I mean, hey, me and TJ would be very happy if the Panthers do win this football game because that would be huge for NFC South standings.
Right.
Seems like a pretty easy matchup to predict here, and everybody understandably does have the Falcons coming out with what sounds like a pretty easy win, but this is where we kick it to you guys. We want to hear from you in the comment section. Who had it right? Who had it wrong? And who do you think is going to prevail and who is going to fall here in the NFC South? You guys, of course, let us know. Also, make sure to, of course, check out BetUS again to get that exclusive limited time offer when you use promo code YouTube150 when signing up for 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, followed by 125% sign-up bonus on your next 2 deposits, all the way up to $2,000. Make sure on your way out to you guys do hit that big thumbs up button. Really help support us. Subscribe here to the channel at the NFC South Roundtable for all of your NFC South news. Next time we see you guys, will be live Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern to break down everything that happened in week 6. And we would absolutely love to hear from you guys and see you guys represent your own teams. Make sure you do subscribe to each of these individual creators. Links in the description box below to their channels. Of course, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Make sure you guys stay safe. But until then, we will see you next time.